In this video, we will see that how to clear civil services prelims examination with the least time and minimum effort. Now, some of you might be working and some of you have started the preparation late, and even those people who are working, who are studying for last 1 year, they have to also revise this whole of the syllabus. In this video, we will discuss that what should be the strategy to either read or even revise the GS paper 1, so that 125 to 140 marks are issued. We can divide the whole of the syllabus into the 7 subjects. And now we will see that how we will prioritize these subjects so that we can gain the maximum with the minimum effort. So what I think that the first priority should be polity. So you might be thinking that why I am saying the polity. Because polity has the maximum number of the predictable question. The second thing is that approximately 15 to 20 questions comes each year, and as there are more of the predictable questions, the hit ratio is more, and no subject can give this much output with the least effort. And one more important thing is there is only one book which you should cover. There are multiple sources, but you should restrict yourself towards one book only, because we have to gain maximum in the least time. And that one book is Lakshmikant Polity. There is also a certain strategy to gaining maximum in the polity itself. First thing is that revise multiple time. For polity, I will suggest that rather than reading in one go, you should read it more daily, in the daily manner. Not 15 minutes, but it depends upon the chapter. Like one day you are going to do fundamental right, which might take 1 or 2 hours. The next day fundamental duty. The second thing is that divide whole of the book in a certain portion, and after completion of that portion, solve the previous year question paper and test papers. The third and very important thing for the polity to remember these facts is that use of the comparison chart. Now you will think, what is the comparison chart? Comparison chart means you can make a chart form, like in the polity there are certain chapters like union government, state government. In union government itself there is parliament, state legislature, supreme court, high court, prime minister and chief minister. So you can form a comparison chart between both like what is the election procedure sorry, tenure and all those things. Similarly, there are certain constitutional bodies, statutory bodies, so in that also you can make a comparison, like CAG, Chief Information Commission, National Commission for Human Rights, whether constitutional body, statutory body, what is the selection procedure, tenure, removal, all those things you can make in a chart form. This will simplify your it will simplify the things and also maximize the retention. And at the last moment, like before the 1-2 days before the examination also, it will help you in revision. The next subject which I think should be covered is the economics. But before that, we will see that with the covering the polity properly, we can assure of 30 to 40 marks. And as you remember, our target is approximately 125 to 140 marks to be clear that we will clear the cutoff of prelims. So now if you do it properly, 30 to 40 marks are assured. So next priority is economics. Why I am saying that economics? Because in economics there are certain facts, but don't concentrate on that facts. So I will consider that in economics there is more of the conceptual and least mugging of the facts, at least in UPSC. I am not talking about state pieces. Second thing is that maximum question can be correct if you have a conceptual clarity. If you look in the question type, you will get an idea that they can be easily attempted if you have a clarity. And each year in economics there are 15 to 20 questions. In economics also, I will recommend that stick to only one source, like either Ramesh Singh or Shriram notes. Now, how to approach the economics? First is the focus on the conceptual clarity rather than going for a data and mugging of the facts and all those things. Second, that relate those things with the current economic happening. Like if you read the newspaper, you get a certain idea. You can link it with the things you have fundamentals. Means in this the fundamental has to be cleared, and that fundamental has to be linked with the current economic handling. Like if the RBI has decreased the repo rate, so you have to go through the newspaper that why it is happening, and also you have to question yourself that why these thing happening, what's its impact will be. If you do this thing, I am sure that you can correct at least 90% of the question of economics. So if you have done economics well and in this manner, you can be assured of 60 to 80 marks now. 30 approx of polity, 30 to 40 of polity, and now 30 to 40 of approx economics. Next thing is the geography. Why I am saying about the geography? Because with geography there is limited resources. Okay, now you will think that there is so much resources. Many of the people read from 6 to 10th, 12th till 6 to 12th NCERT, but don't go for that because they are basically redundant material. Stick to only 11th and 12th NCERT and GC Leong and Atlas. That itself is sufficient. No need to go for the 6 to the 10 NCERT, which when you have a limited time. Also for revision, stick to these sources only. In geography also, every year there are 15 to 20 questions, and if you have done properly the physical geography and Atlas and India physical, then you can easily correct those questions. And those questions are most of questions are from the NCERT, and these sources only they can be covered easily. But one thing, that how you have to maximize your gain out of the geography. First thing is that no redundant sources. Stick to one resources only, that I have already told. Then maps, mapping daily. Because if you will try to do map in one go, then you will get confused. Like target, like today I will do the North America, or today I will go to Europe, or even in that also you can further partition that North America only physical portion I will do. Tomorrow I will look into the human aspects, only rivers today, only mountains today, like that. Second thing is physical geography. Focus on the conceptual clarity. That is very important, because once your concept are built, you can easily correct those answer and there is least possibility of the negative marks. Now with geography you can be assured of 70 to 100 marks. With this 70 to 100 marks are assured, but our target is to reach the 125 to 140 marks. Next, what I will suggest is the history. You will think that why I am saying that history so late after economics, polity and geography. History is very important because it has overlap with VGS mains and all those things, but history in the case of the prelims, it a little bit dicey. There are 15 to 20 questions, but you can never be sure, but you can't leave the history altogether also. So you have to focus on history for further marks of gain, but put it at the last. Like if with your effort you can correct 60 or 70% question also, then also it is alright. In the history, we will first focus on the modern history, then culture. Ancient history and medieval history should be targeted at the end when you have covered all those things, because if you have less time, then at least this portion should be covered well. In this history also, limit your sources to less number of books, but revise them. Otherwise history can be washed out. You have to go through history. Like for that I will suggest the Spectrum Modern History, and for culture Vision IAS Culture Rooms. There are multiple sources, but stick to that only. Story write like reading. One more thing I will suggest, that go through the timeline. One method for timelining is Viceroy or Governor General timeline. That first in a copy you write that timeline of the Governor General, then what major event happened in their tenure. This you should do beforehand, and then starting reading and then relating to this. This will simplify your understanding. Trust me, it will simplify. Try this thing once. In this manner we can be assured of 100 to 120 marks now with history. Next, what we should cover is environment and ecology. In recent time, environment and ecology have become a very important portion. Many questions are coming from the environment, but the thing is that they are dynamic question. Even if you read all the things, you cannot be sure that you can correct maximum number of the question, but you have to cover this. Stick to one sources. I suggest the Shankar IAS Academy Environment Note are good, but in that also there are many redundant material, so in that also prioritize the chapters. And in this environment and ecology you have to remember certain facts like national park, critically endangered animal. Try to do with them with the help of the atlas or with the help of the pictures. In critically endangered element, go through the pictures, then it will help you to retain them. In the national park, wildlife sanctuary, go state wise. First cover one state, the major 3 or 4 major only, not more than that, national park and wildlife sanctuary. Then do this daily. Like today I will cover the Jammu Kashmir, next day Himachal Pradesh, in this manner. That will help you in retaining it. So now the next thing, how to gain maximum from the environment. First thing is that focus on the basics, fundamental. Second, map, that I have already told you, and images. And third thing is that prioritize within the syllabus and interrelate the concepts. Next, with this we are assured of the 120 to 130 marks, 135 or 130 marks. Next we should target the ancient history. Now why ancient history? Basically for ancient history there is one source, that is NCERT, old NCERT. Questions are increasing these days in ancient history, so if we have to be assured of a selection, we should cover the ancient history. But in that also you can prioritize the chapters like Buddhism, Jainism. Some chapters are important. Philosophy, those chapters are important. Some if you have a certain bit idea, you can easily find out that which chapters are important. And if you need further, I can further elaborate that in the other videos, that which chapter has to be covered. So but revise these, and also in this I will suggest the timeline manner. Make a chart in which form the timeline and the major event in that particular timeline history. But for ancient history there is a certain strategy also of attempting question, that I will clarify in the next video, that what should be your strategy in the examination hall to gain the maximum. So with this you can easily above the cutoff, 130 to 140 marks easily. But still some people want more, so we have to go further. And the thing is also that UPSC in unpredictable, so we can't leave anything. The third thing, the next target is science and technology. Science and technology, many of you are from the science background, many of you are not. But even if you are from science background, you have passed your 12th means many years back. So now in the science and tech I will say that they are maximum common sense question. Don't give much time on the science and tech because its syllabus is very wide, and even if you cover everything, you can't be assured of the marks. So in science and tech, what we will do is that in science and tech, go to the summary. Basic concept clarity, and then there is a summary of chapters of NCERT. Go through the 6th, 7th and 8th, only summary of the chapter. That will be suffix, and the only thing you have to use is the common sense and emulation strategy in the examination hall. So what next? Current affairs. Current affairs, many of you are worried about how to do the current affairs. Like in UPSC, it is unpredictable. Many time current affairs is also a very wide dimension, but you have to go through the current affairs also for the mains. So questions are also in the subject, also question are derived somewhere from the current affairs, but for that I will suggest only the daily newspaper reading, and otherwise you can go through the notes of Vision, IAS or Vajiram, any current affair material, and from this highlight the main thing related to the prelims that you have to highlight, and then just go through those one, not more than that. But the main thing will be that reading newspaper, that is the foremost important. But if you do this, 140 to 150 marks can easily be assured. Then the last thing which I think is remaining is the medieval history. Medieval history is the last thing, because in recent years the questions are also less, and also if the question come from this, there will be more of the dynamic. But in medieval history you have to prioritize certain chapters like Sufism is there, and Bhakti movement, and architectural something, which although you have covered in the culture, but there are certain things. Don't focus on armies and all wars and all those things, but just a rough reading. And in this also make major timeline and major event in a particular king period. For that you can also use Wikipedia or general highlight also. You don't need to even go to the NCERT, you can just go to the Wikipedia and have a general overview. I think that is that will assure, if there are certain question, there will be assured you 140 to 150 marks. This I am roughly given with negative marking also, because we have seen in the previous slide that slowly I am reducing the marks. So I am taking the cognizance of the negative marks also. With that negative marking also you can assured of the 140 to 150 marks. But now, to learn how to maximize your marks in the examination hall, watch my next video, strategy for attempting question in the examination hall for the IAS prelims. Till then, bye and all the best.